I want to talk about the sunk cost fallacy when it comes to making a change in your life. Sunk cost fallacy is a mostly economic term, and it basically is stating that you have already sunk your costs into this. There is no getting that money back, and you are hanging on to something so tightly because you've already sunk so much into it. When in reality, it doesn't matter. You need to let it go. You're never going to get it back. So let it go, let it be a sunk cost, and move on and be done with it. I find it really common that people in their careers that are 10, 15 years in, whatever it may be, they are at a level where they're doing well, they're making enough money, they have a title that is, applauded, and they want to make a change. But they are gripping onto this thing, this job, this title, this position, whatever it is, so tightly that they are unable to see that the last 10 or 15 years have been completely sunk cost. They are hanging on to this fallacy that they're so close. And usually the thing is, the easiest way to identify that this is the position you're in is if you look around you and there's nobody who you're envious of. If you look around and your boss, you don't want their life, you don't want your boss's boss's life, you don't want your boss's 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 life, you don't want your colleagues' life, you don't want anybody around you, you don't want their life. Now, I get it, envy is a deadly sin or something, I don't know, but it is looked down upon to envy people around you, so maybe envious isn't the right word, but if you look around you and there's nobody who you can aspire to be, then that is a great indicator that you have fallen to the sunk cost fallacy and that you are working towards something that simply will never come to fruition. There is a little graphic, maybe like an OG meme that was going around, and I still see it every once in a while. It's these like two guys, and they are digging through a tunnel, and one of them, or maybe it's just one guy, digging through a tunnel, and you can tell that they're tired and whatever, and the graphic shows them turning around and walking back, and it shows the diamonds or the treasure like so close to where they were. And I think a lot of people have taken that concept, and that very much is like, oh, if I just keep going, I'm almost there. What if I'm almost there? What if I'm almost there? What if I'm so close? And I think the question is like, so close to what? Like, okay, you're so close to getting that promotion. Okay, cool. Well, that position and title, like what does that have that you don't have right now? And how is that going to contribute to your happiness or overall well-being? Which I think is, when people talk about leadership, they often say like, hey, as the leader, you need to take breaks. And I think that that's true for a lot of reasons, but like if you're somebody's subordinate and you see whoever's at the top, the CEO, the boss, whatever it might be, or whatever, however many levels above you, and if you just see them work themselves into the ground, what are you aspiring to? Like, are they making that much money that you just aspire to be that? Well, that's cool. But like, really, you want to look around you, find somebody, find your person that you're like, I want to be that person because they have this, they get to do this type of work and I really want to do that type of work. They make this much money and I think that making that much money would, 10x my lifestyle. That's probably not true, but whatever it may be. Or they get to supervise people and I really want to supervise people, or they get to do whatever it might be. Those are the kind of things that you need to be looking around for. And if you are not finding those things, if there is nobody in, it doesn't even have to be your organization, but your industry that you're like, oh yes, that person, that position, that title, that type of work. If that doesn't exist for you, you need to figure something else out. So that might be a different industry altogether. That might be going back to school. That might be any number of things. But if you can't look around you and figure out who you want to be, it's time to cut bait, to let the sunk costs be sunk costs, and find something else.